glad you're here, Black Company.
What is going on, guys? Slick B here. How are you all doing? Happy Saturday. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, just remember Mother's Day is tomorrow, so that's a quick reminder for you guys. Get your mom something nice. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I think I'm sending my mom something. It's Saturday while I'm recording this, by the way, so tomorrow. But she'll get something this week for Mother's Day, and I'm obviously going to call her and tell her that she's awesome. So, yeah, do that. But this is something you guys have been waiting for a little while. Got carried away about the Battlefield 1 trailer, so I posted that yesterday instead of this. But this is the T14 Armata. I couldn't get into a PvP match. I'm going to be looking this week to do some PvP footage of the Tier 10 tanks, because this thing is a I want to say DPM monster. The reload isn't too slow, but the amount of damage per shell is just amazing. This thing does almost 1,000 per shot with the upgraded Sabo rounds, or armor-piercing, fin-stabilized, discarding Sabo rounds. I think that's what they are. It's amazing. Now this is just some PvE footage of a little mission that we're doing. I did pretty bad, and this tank actually can get penned pretty easily, which is, at least from the AI, which is interesting to me. So I don't know the strengths or weaknesses of T14, and it's not very fast comparative to like a Leopard in this game. Now I haven't played any of the other Tier 10s, so I can't compare them directly. But like I said, I will be playing more this week. It's a very fun tank. It was a fun tank to play. It just felt really powerful. Later on in this match, I get hold down in a spot, and I just start picking off these AIs that are rushing us, doing 900 damage per shot. And it's very reminiscent of a Tier 10 tank destroyer almost in World of Tanks, because you play the Jagdgewehr, right? The Jagdpanzer E100. And you have over 1,000 damage per shot. You have to pick and choose your targets based on that. You see somebody with 200 health, and yeah, it'd be nice if he doesn't have to shoot back at you or he's not there anymore. But you don't always kill him, because it costs more to shoot a guy with 200 health and get the kill than it would to get the 1,000 damage out of the shot. So that's how I feel these Tier 10 tanks are going to be. I don't know how the PL-LO1's gun is, but this gun is pretty damn good. I had a good time penning most tanks from the front even. And you face on PvE, you face tanks that are the same tier. So I was facing Abrams and stuff that have really good armor in the front, but most of the time it could pen even the lower plate, the viewports and stuff like that. And especially if you even get a glimpse of the side of the tank, you're going through, no problem. And it's pretty cool. Another thing is gun depression, stuff like that with this tank, turret rotation. It seems all pretty standard. Again, I haven't been playing a lot of Armored Warfare recently, so I can't be 100% sure that this tank is, actually good. But it seems like it plays a lot like the T90MS. So the T90MS was more of a brawler type tank. It had pretty good armor at the tier, and the gun, when it did pen and it did hit you, it was just very, very damaging. Another thing about this is it has a smoothbore cannon, so it's armed with ATGMs. And the ATGMs do over 1,000 damage per shot if they actually go through. Now the only issue with that is tanks of the same caliber, the same tier, always have, most of them have anti-missile systems on the tank. So I believe the tank will tell you when you're about to shoot at somebody with a missile, it'll tell you if they have an anti-tank or anti-missile system up in place. And I noticed that when I was shooting at a couple of the AIs, my missiles just didn't do any damage. And then after the systems were down, it was just like 1,000, over 1,000 per shot. Which is pretty interesting. I also want to play around a little bit with some of the ammo types that you can get for these tanks. Now, I'm only using the armor piercing because, I'm a scared boy. But I think that this tank has HESH. I believe it has HESH. I might be wrong. But it has either HESH or heat or some other type of round. And it'd be fun to play around with it. A lot of the other tanks at the tiers that aren't main battle tanks have absolutely no armor. Like the M8 Thunderbolts and, the Sphinx is a Tier 10 tank, right? Or a Tier 10 armored fighting vehicle. So imagine shooting one of those things with HE on one of these guns. I can't imagine how much damage they do. I mean, obviously you have to get in the perfect situation, and you might miss your shot because these tanks are so fast. You have to switch. You have to almost have it loaded before you shoot. But if that happens, I can see massive, massive damage pools. And you can see I'm just racking up 1,000 shot, 1,000 per shot. Like that was over 1,000 on that Terminator. Just pretty dope shit. Get hull down. It seems like the turret is pretty good on this tank. I mean, in real life, nobody sits in the turret on the T14 Armata. It's a 3-man crewed tank with 3 people being in side by side in a capsule in the front of the vehicle. So there's a driver, a gunner, and I don't even think it has a loader. I don't know what the other guy does. The tank commander? So it might be the commander, the gunner, and the driver in an armored capsule in the front of the fighting vehicle. So it's pretty interesting. And this is going to be the new main battle tank for Russia, apparently, if it goes through. Now, we all know that one of them broke down in Red Square, and that's been a big thing. You know, everybody's like, oh, well, it's going to be a big tank. It broke down in Red Square. But in all honesty, I mean, prototype vehicles break down. All vehicles break down. Abrams have broken down. You know, like, it's not a new thing in the world of tanks. Not the game world of tanks, but the world of tanks. That they break down. I mean, these are tanks. They're heavy armored fighting vehicles with cannons and tracks, and they carry people and ammunition. You know, they break down. So especially a prototype, it is a little embarrassing that it broke down while it was in the raid. But other than that, I'm sure the T14 can be pretty amazing. Now, me being an American person, obviously the Abrams holds some weight in my heart. I mean, they are very good tanks. We saw what happened in the Gulf and all that stuff. And yeah, you could say they were fighting tanks that couldn't deal with them. But still, the percentages of, you know, Abrams going down in the field is pretty insane, the numbers. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know it's very, very few Abrams have been lost to the enemy. Comparative to how many they've killed. They just knocked T-72s off in the desert when they didn't even see them. It's pretty amazing. So I'd definitely be interested in playing the new Abrams that's in the game. I think it'd be pretty cool. But I mean, it's fun. And I like PvE in this game. How do you guys feel about that? But I want you guys to vote down below with what tier 10 vehicle you want to see next. I'm thinking the Leopard, Abrams, the PLO. I want to play all of them. Now I'm thinking about it. But somebody said the Sphinx. I think it's the Sphinx, which would be fun to play. It'd be a little bit harder for me to get gameplay on it, considering I'm not good at this game. I just started playing again, so it might take a little while. We'll see how the T14 does too. I want to get a PvP. But it's hard. You got to kind of get on at peak hours because not everybody has tier 10s yet. But for the time being, maybe I'll get in games with tier 9s. Do well. Who knows? Now this mission, I actually ran out of ammo shooting at too many tanks. And this warrior just slipped out of my way. Oh man. I ran out of ammo shooting at all these tanks. And I think they have some consumables now for PvE especially, where you can repair your tank, get full health. And I think there's an ammo one, which may be necessary. I think if I had that, that'd be a lot better. I would have got more damage, I think. I was kind of careless with the shots. But seeing how many tanks I killed, I think, let's say you're in a PvP match. I think that this vehicle might run out of ammo at some point in time. You might have a really beast game, and the ammo might be a problem for you. Because if you're wasting shells is the thing that is kind of new to me, considering I have a lot of, you know, I just get the shells for free. You know, I don't necessarily grind for them. A lot of people were saying this about my War Thunder video in the M103. I shot a lot of the heat rounds into the ground on accident. And everybody was like, oh, rip heat rounds, you know what I mean? Rip all that money and stuff. And I didn't really register that. But now that it's in my mind and I've been thinking about it, if I grind for the T14 Armata, let's say I grinded for this and I worked super hard to get this tank, there's a possibility that I'm wasting a lot of shells. You know, you have to be really, really careful with your shots, especially shooting at other tanks of the caliber, because they have insane armor. You're not going to pen every time from the front. And this tank is not super fast. You can't really flank that well. So, you know, there's a huge problem with the possibility of wasting ammo. It's a big issue. Because if you're shooting at some, I'd say, Challenger 2s or whatever, and you can't go through the front, or an Abrams, you can't go through the front, and they're in a good spot, and they're shooting at you, what are you going to do? You're just going to keep shooting at each other or pick a different target? I feel like that's almost the issue. The armor in this game is almost too good, you know? The weak spots are too small. And you hit a glancing shot, is that really worth your return? I don't know. It's just some things to think about. I'm not necessarily the best Armored Warfare player. I'm sure you guys have a lot better understanding, so you can teach me while I'm talking about it. But the game is winding down now. It seems like we killed just about everybody. I have 4. It looks like I have 4 missiles left. I'm just going to dump some missiles into the enemy tanks, and there we go.
All right,
Mission
the
is
Sams are
over.
taking out their cargo
Knocking out the
planes.
AC-130s.
Good work, Black Company.
So I hope you guys enjoyed. You can take a look at the end screen and see how much damage I ended up doing. But yeah, leave a comment on what tier 10 vehicle you'd like to see next, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.